I remember this specific time where I was jumping on my trampoline and I was having a lot of fun. You see, I was a kid who really liked to explore his imagination and push it to its absolute limits. I would think about the far corners of the universe, all of the different galaxies, and how it would look like to explore them. I thought about all the different aspects of World War One that I was exploring at that time, and of World War Two as well. Like all of the what if history scenarios, like what if this went wrong, or what if this nation succeeded, you name it. Then also, I thought about a war that was happening around that time. It wasn't a physical war, but it was a mental war of subscribers on YouTube. That's right, PewDiePie versus T-Series was in full swing around that time when this was going on. And I was hooked on it. Of course, I was on PewDiePie's side, just for the memes, but it was a lot of fun to watch both of those content creators. Well, one of them was a corporation, so they didn't have a clear identity, but of course PewDiePie had. Of course, we all know Felix. And so I remember spending hours just being active in the live streams, just looking at the subscribers count going up and down, just seeing how much PewDiePie was ahead or how much T-Series was ahead. It was always a constant struggle that was never ending, and I loved it. And and even making predictions about it was a lot of fun. So yeah, that's what I used to do when I was around 11 years old on my trampoline. I would just think about that. I would just think about the future of my YouTube channels that I had around that time. I would think about the universe, the history, and all of these other things that I deeply liked at that time. And the reason why I picked the trampoline to do these kinds of activities is that it was outside and I really enjoyed it being outside, just looking at all of the beautiful green nature, even though all of the leaves were down, just looking into the horizons and appreciating all of the electrical balls that were like almost a kilometer away from me, but looking at the trees that were even far beyond the horizons, just looking at all of the different details that were in there, all of the trees, all of the bushes, all of the beautiful nature, not just on the fields that were just behind my house, but also at my garden as well. It was such a point, it was such a beautiful point of view, and it helped me a lot to come up with a lot of new ideas. So that's why I still jump on it to this day. It helps me concentrate, and it really helps my mental health in the long term. But do you know when this story was going on? Do you know when this exactly happened? This was on New Year's Eve. Bro, I still remember all of the days where the temperature was just like, I would say around 0 degrees Celsius. I still remember those days when it was not even shiny outside. It was just purely cloudy. And of course, it was still bright outside because, of course, the sun was still up, but it was just behind the clouds. But I still remember those days where it would be so cold and yet I wouldn't give a single fuck. I would just continue jumping on there on the trampoline for 3 hours at certain times. That's how dedicated I was to this. I wasn't stopping for a single moment. The only times where I ever stopped jumping on my trampoline was if it was snowy. So if my trampoline was completely covered in snow, or if it was completely drenched in water. So like even the net that you jump on, it was just completely soaked. Those were the only two limitations that stopped me, even to this day, from jumping on it. Otherwise, you would just see me, even during the winter, jump on it at least once per 2 weeks. My dedication is still strong to it to this day, and you have to realize that in order to defeat the cold, you must remember that it is purely a mental thing. You have to remember that your mind, basically like 9 times out of 10, your mind always gives up sooner than your body. Your body can always keep going for the long term. All you need to do is just build up that discipline and that tolerance to it, and everything will be good. That's what we call progressive overload. And I immediately, when I was tryharding cold exposure, back in the early stages of my self evolution journey, back when I was I was still good at handling the cold, but I wasn't the best at it, so I took cold showers every single day. I still remember to this day waking up and immediately, the second after I woke up, just getting into the cold shower, putting it to the coldest degree Celsius, just whacking it all the way to the other point, and then showering myself. And oh boy, was it satisfying. Of course, it hurt for the first like 10 seconds. Like, what does not? And then, after I surpassed that first resistance, it was just swimmingly. It went swimmingly from there. And I could stay there for like 10 minutes or even a whole hour if I wanted to. But I only stayed there for like 2 minutes, since I was only doing it for the refreshing aspect. And just so that, yeah, I could get the discipline from it. Those were literally the only two reasons. But yeah, it is purely a mental thing, meaning that if you just level it up like a skill over time, so you like slowly but surely push the barrier, push your limits, then soon enough you can literally become like Wim Hof. 40 years down the line, you can be that overpowered within the time period of just a couple of decades. It is really possible and it is very easy for you. All you need to do is just realize that it is purely a mental thing, and that the reason why you actually hate it so much is because you have a strong emotion that is trying you to not enter the challenge in the first place, meaning that you have to counter it with another strong emotion that is as equally as strong, but you must make that equally strong emotion even stronger than the negative one, and soon enough, everything will become possible for you. You will become an unstoppable machine. And that's exactly what you need. So, the emotion that you have to get for yourself has to always be affiliated with some kind of delayed progress and instant pain. Of course, the cold is literally pain in and of itself, and of course, the warm is the feeling of instant pleasure. But since we are men of self evolution that want to become the best possible version of themselves in this life, we cannot afford to spend all of our days just in our blankets drinking hot chocolate. And yeah, that would be a nice existence after all, but it would be an undisciplined one, and we wouldn't get anywhere in our lives. So we still need to make some kind of progress in our lives. So you need to tie it to some kind of an end goal that you want to get achieved. Whether it is getting stronger discipline, stronger willpower, whether it is to improve your breathing, whether it is to improve your focus, your mindfulness, whether it is just anything that brings you progress for the long term. Just something that can damage you, like how you damage your muscles in the gym through the workouts, and so that it can grow strongly like there is no tomorrow. The feeling that I used to have on my trampoline and that I still do to this day wasn't just fitness. Of course, it played a larger role inside of it, especially now that I know that jumping on trampoline helps you lose weight even more than running, then of course I'm still gonna do it until the end that I until the end of my life. But the main reason why I actually like to jump on it in the first place had nothing to do with fitness whatsoever. It was the feeling of exploring my imagination, and that I had literally a place where I could push it to its absolute limits whenever I wanted to, on command, just like that. But it would only work if I would be there for a couple of hours at a time. Sure, that time has been heavily reduced right now. Trust me, I worked on it. And yeah, I just now don't need that much time. But that's progressive overload right there. That's how every kind of skill works. And so, if this goal resonates with you so much, then you will literally go to Mount Everest for it. You will literally push mountains in order to achieve it. Meaning that if you struggle with productivity, with discipline, with resisting bad habits through willpower, with resiliency, with stoicism, this can be an excellent exercise because it exercises all of these different self improvement muscles, and it makes you, and it literally forges you into the best possible version of yourself in this life. And you must do this all year long. You must indulge in this activity as much as you possibly can. It is a very good beginner self-improvement habits that can literally take you from like level 1 to like level 10. It is just amazing, and it brings you so many blessings into your life. So you must realize that this game is completely mental, and that if you just align a stronger emotion to that negative one that just wants to stay inside, get the instant pleasure, and just get no progress for the long term, then you will absolutely win. If you get yourself this stronger one that brings you instant pain right now, but when you actually get inside, that's when the recovery starts and your muscles get stronger. Now, of course, I know that different peoples and different ethnic groups are watching my videos right now, so of course, if you're like Filipino or basically like you're darker skin, so like you're not really that used to cold, then yeah, I highly suggest that you go like that you do like ah, cold showers, but don't do them as fast as possible because I know that that can like hurt you, and I know that you're way more susceptible to getting like colds and stuff like that. So yeah, just do it with a little more caution, okay? If you want to join a community where we discuss our mental health and full of like-minded men who share the same values as you, the same likes and dislikes, the same goals as you, who are becoming the best version of themselves every single day to surpass you in the race of men, but at the same time, they will be like your true blood-bonded brothers with whom you can talk about any kind of topic and any kind of life lesson that you wish, and they will give you life advice on it like there's no tomorrow, then you can join our Discord clan in the description. I know that if you're watching videos like these and willing to take action, that you have way more potential than you think you have. So please harness it and join us on the path towards greatness. I know that you'll find your place in there, along with the 99% of people that don't bring you any progress in your life whatsoever. But besides that, you can like the video, you can subscribe if you want, join the email list in the description, and get yourself a free book about mindfulness. Comment on which part of the video you like the most and which part of the video you will implement into your daily life. If you want to learn about healthy mindsets that will guarantee success in the long term and in the short term by mending your mental health and bring you on the right path, no matter what, no matter the life test, no matter the goal, then I highly suggest that you should go check out Timeless Readers Mindsets in the description. It is truly something life changing, and you would be an absolute fool to miss out, especially with the discount that is happening over there right now. And with that being said, thank you very much for watching this video, and remember, no one is better at being you